get it out. And we're going to go through the next 3 pages of the spiral review. So yesterday we did pages 1, 2, and 3. Today we're doing spiral review, pages 4, 5, and 6. So it starts here on page 124 in your notebook, pages 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to pin my screen. If you haven't done it yet, you can still follow along and write the answers in so that then when you work on it on your own, you'll know what the answers are. Okay, here we go. Spiral review number 1. Isabel played soccer 12 times in August. In September, she played 7 times as many times as she did in August. How many times did Isabel play soccer? You multiply 12 times 7, and you should get 84. If you guys ever have a different answer than me, please tell me. Now I have to tell you that, oh no, this one's not it. There was one I found that I think is wrong, but anyway. The second one says the model below shows 2 groups of 5, 6. Explain how you can find the product of 2 times 5, 6 by using unit fractions in the space below. Include the product in simplest form. So first of all, I just multiplied it. 2 times 5 is 10, and you keep the denominator the same because the 2 is over 1. So 10, 6, then you divide 10 by 6. It's 6, 6, and 4, 6. So it's 1 and 4, 6. Then you can divide the 4, 6 by 2 halves and split it in half, and you come up with 2/3. So 1 and 2/3 is the simplest. And I explained it. I said you could look and see how to move 1 6 up there and be left with 1 whole and 4 6. And then you could push the 6 together. 2 of them together makes a third and a second third. So you come up with 2/3. Or you could just multiply it the way I did. So that was my explanation on 2. On number 3, Marvin's teacher asked him to write a number on the board. The value of the 7 in his number is equal to 1/10 of 7,000, which means I'm dividing it by 10. So I know that my decimal is going to move over 1 place to the right. Which of the following numbers could be Marvin's number? So I know the 7, instead of being in the thousandths place, it's now going to be in the hundredths place. So it should be answer B, 4,785. B, 3B. 4, Mildred and Daniel collected data about favorite foods. They used a circle graph to organize their data. According to the graph, which food choice has an approximate angle of 150 degrees? And we haven't done degrees yet, but maybe you did them last year. Maybe you know that a straight angle or half is 180. So 150 is going to be a little less than half, which is right here. It's the pizza. C, pizza. Number 5, what is 75.942 rounded to the nearest hundredth? What's that? You got something wrong?
I missed something that number 4.
Okay, well, does it make sense now? Yeah, not really. So a whole circle is 360 degrees. Half of it is 180. We haven't done this lesson yet, Mohammed. So this is 360 degrees. Half of it is 180 degrees. So right here is 90 degrees. And between 90 and 180, 150 would be about right where the pizza is, about that far. But don't feel too bad because we haven't done angles and degrees yet. In fact, I don't think we get to them till the end of the year, so that one's going to be a little bit hard. All right, the next one, you are going to move your decimal, or you're rounding to the nearest hundredth. So your steps are underline the hundredths place, which is the 4. So you know that you're going to be either 75.94 or 75.95. You're going to look to the digit to the right of the 4, which is a 2. And that means that you do not round up because it's not 5 or more. So it's going to end up 75.94 or 940. And then you fill in these little things right below it. So you just go down to the 7 colored in, the 5 colored in, the decimal colored in, the 4 colored in, and the 0 colored in. That's how these little charts work. Now we're on spiral review 5. Number 1. Diego multiplies and divides original numbers by powers of 10 to create new numbers. And you are supposed to look at which original numbers were multiplied by 10 squared. Well, 10 times 10 is 100, which means the decimal has to move 2 places to the right so that the number is getting bigger by 10 times twice. So if you look at 6 to 6,000, it moved 3 times or times 1,000. The 968, if I added 2 zeros to that, it would be 96,800. So the second one works. D, 968. None of the others work. The 0.02, it moved, oh, actually, did it just move twice? Oh, it did. Actually, I think I'm wrong. I think that 0.2 works too, but they didn't have that as an answer. But it does work, doesn't it? 1, 2, yeah. 0.2 works. 70,000 to 700, that only moved, oh, it moved the wrong way, it got smaller. And 3.33 to 333 moved a whole lot more. So your only answer on that one was D. Oh no, and A, sorry, the A is on there. Okay, A and D, I'm sorry about that one. All right. Number 2, the Wright family is going on a road trip. Their first stop is 375.8 miles away. After 2 hours, they've gone 115.9 miles. How many more miles does the Wright family have to travel to reach their first destination? So you take the total, 375.8, subtract the 115.9, and you come up with 259.9. So that's B, 259.9. The next one, number 3, we haven't done this yet either, but when lines are like this, they are parallel. When lines are next to each other, they're adjacent. When lines are crossed at a 90-degree angle, they're perpendicular. So your answer is D, perpendicular. Number 4, Jacob bought various sizes of sticks for an art project. He measured the length of each stick and then put the data in the line plot below. What's the difference in length between the stick with the greatest length and the stick with the least length? So in this one, this is a little tricky when they ask you these. You're not actually looking at how many there are there. You're really looking at what the length is. So the shortest stick was 1/5 of a foot. The longest stick was 4/5 of a foot. What's the difference? Well, 1, 2, 3/5 of a foot difference. You could do that by subtraction. You could say 4/5 minus 1/5 and get the difference. 3/5 is your answer. We're on Spiral Review 5, number 5. An expression is shown below. What's the value? You need to line those up with the decimals lined up exactly right so that you're adding the same place value together. And you'll come out with 19.008. And then you fill it in your little chart and you shade it in. Right, kitty cat? Is your cat helping you, Hamadi? Does your cat do math? Okay, and our last page of the Spiral Review today, page 6 on page 126. The first one says multiply 9 times 3/4. We know that the 9 is a whole number, so we put it over 1. We multiply the numerators and then the denominators, and we come out with 27/4. Then we divide 27 by 4. 4 times 6 is 24, which leaves 3 left over, and they're not 3 whole numbers, they're 3/4. So we have 3/4 left over. So we have 6 3/4, which is answer D. Did you get that one, Amadi? Yeah. Number 2, Janine spent $58.92 on a new outfit for a party she was attending. To the nearest dollar, how much money did Janine spend? So we're rounding, and we're rounding to the nearest dollar. So we go to the whole number, the 1 spot, which is the 8, underline it. Then we look at the number to the right of it and we say, is that 5 or more? Yep, it's 9. So instead of $58, she spent almost $59. B is the correct answer. Number 3, the grocery store manager is unloading boxes of apples from the delivery truck. There are 37 boxes of apples. Each box has 64 apples. How many apples in all? You multiply it and you come out with 2,368. C. Number 4, select all equations that are true. Be careful of questions like this because a lot of times kids don't see the all. They do the first one and then they don't do the others. You had to solve for all of these. And first, I started out by solving 95 minus 48. And I got 47 as my answer. And then I checked to see which of the other side equaled 47. The first one equaled 46, so nope. The second one equaled 47, so B is correct, circled it. C equaled 45, so that's wrong. D equaled 47, so I circled it. And then E equaled 47, so I circled it. So B, D, and E, there are 3 correct answers. Did you get that one, Amadi? That one's tricky. And finally, what is the value of the expression shown below, number 5? 18.13, 9.02. You need to make sure that you line them up again with the decimals lined up exactly. And even though this last number doesn't have a number, you could add a 0 there to make it work out. You don't line them up with the numbers, like you don't move that 7 over underneath that other one because that's 7/10, not 7/100. So you have to have the decimals lined up. And then you can add zeros to make the rest work out. But your answer is 104.85. I'm going to tell you on tomorrow's spiral review, so 7, 8, 9, I think number 3 is wrong. So go ahead to page 127, spiral review 7, circle number 3 and write, Ms. Laws thinks it's wrong. And see if you come out with, maybe I'm wrong, but I double checked it and I don't think I am. All right, friends, that's it for today.